just a social networking site. It's the fact that you can store everything on there, and essentially it's just like an online scrapbook. You can see the history of your life through photos that you upload or your friends upload, videos, just short status updates. You can even do full blogs on there, and you can even see the way that you change through the years, like the photos that you upload when you sign up to the photos, when you're actually, like, years down the line, you can actually see how you've grown and how you've progressed as a person, just by looking at those pictures from start to finish. You can also see how your friends change as well through the years. It's very interesting when you actually go back and you see some of the photos from the beginning of when you signed up to something like Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, and you just look at the pictures then and then look at the pictures of yourself now and just see how much you've changed. The 15th of July 2009. The status update reads, "Has spent the day helping Saf move home." So much wood, so much wood. It's actually quite an interesting story. It was the first day that I'd actually met my girlfriend's parents, and ironically enough, they were moving house. So I had to meet the father and pack up all of the stuff that they had into this tiny van. We must have made at least about like three or four different journeys, just going back and forwards from one house to the next. And her mother's a bit of a neat freak, so I remember when we were carrying the sofa from the van into the hallway, and she stops both of us and she says, "I don't allow shoes in the house." And I looked at the dad and I was like, well, this is like the first impression. So I don't know how I'm going to take off my shoes while holding a big sofa. But we somehow managed it, and we had the stairs in front of us, the small corridor to the kitchen and to the bathroom to the right of us, and the living room was to the left through this door. And we had to turn the sofa around, bearing in mind there was a banister in the middle of the corridor as well, so that was kind of hard to negotiate around. But we started pivoting around, and I got cornered in between the corner where this wall was, and Safira's dad was like, you know, you can go through to the living room, it's fine, you know, you don't mind about it. And I just went, I can't. There's actually a photo on Facebook about it. We all just cracked up about it. It was quite a fun day, and I think I made a general good impression on them. The next story is the 27th of August 2010. The status just simply reads, "Has just been kidnapped, lols." This is, it was a few days before I was due to move to Edinburgh. I've just spent the last few days in Norwich, my hometown, and there was a knock on the door. It was me, Safira and my mum at home, and there was a knock on the door. My mum quickly went up the stairs and asked me if I could get the door for her. Didn't think anything of it, so I went to the front door, opened it. There was absolutely no one there, so I was like, oh, it must have been a knock and run. Before I could close the door and before I could think of anything else, this I think it was about 4 or 5 of these guys just piled into my house, all wearing army camo pants, black tops, balaclavas, and they just launched onto me, pinned me down, tied me up with duct tape and handcuffs, dumped the balaclava over my head, carried me into this car, and drove me around the city for a while, and then pulled the balaclava off to reveal me in this kitchen with all of my friends just around there, to celebrate my leaving. Yes, that was my leaving party. That was a really nice evening actually. I was really touched by that. I do miss them. I miss them a lot. The 5th of August 2012. The status simply reads, birthday surprise, played out a treat. Now officially I am in Norwich. Party times? Hashtag who's with me. This was a culmination of a plan that I had spent 2 months working on. I'd saved up the money. It was my sister's birthday on the 5th of August, and I really wanted to give her a fantastic surprise, and I couldn't think of a better surprise to give her than just me turning up in Norwich. The initial plan, because I didn't have the money for a hotel, and because I certainly didn't want to stay at my mum's, nothing against them, but it was a surprise, so I wanted it to be on my sister's birthday. So I just pitched an idea to a few of my friends called the Sofa Surfer Holiday, and a couple of my friends, Bex and Paul, put themselves forward, and I spent 1 week with Bex and 1 week with Paul. Really enjoyed my time with them. Just going out, having fun with Bex, just going for walks in the woods, in Mousehold. It was generally an area that I hold dear to my heart because all of my friends and I used to hang out around there. It was just really nice having loads of heart-to-hearts with Bex, and watching the Olympics with Paul as well. That was actually quite cool. I mean, I don't have a TV in Edinburgh, and I certainly had no interest in watching the Olympics, but watching the closing ceremony was nice. It was actually nice just to relax and just chill out with some friends. But yeah, back to the story. I was staying at Bex's at that point, and the initial plan was for me to head from Bex's to my mum's and ask Kerry, my sister, if she'd received my birthday present that I posted through to her, and just telling her, oh, it should be arriving right about, I walk through the door now, big surprise, oh my god. I got about halfway there. It was a good 40-minute walk, I would say, from Bex's to my mum's. It was like essentially on the other side of Norwich City. So I got about halfway, just about halfway there. It was in the city, just about to head, the next leg of the journey. Casually just having a conversation with my sister, just finding out what the whole plan was. Got about halfway there, and she said to me, oh yeah, mum's taking me out for a meal. I was like, oh fantastic, whereabouts are you going? She said a place called Zach's, which was 10-15 minutes walk back the way I came. So slightly irked and slightly frustrated, I was like, god damn it. Turned around, started power walking. Now before I got to Zach's, I was actually starting to freak out a little bit because it was a main road. I knew the route that they were going to take exactly, and that road would be exactly the path that they would be coming down. It was the only way from where they lived and the quickest route to get to Zach's. So had the power walk, was freaking out, had my hood up, kind of like scolded down. I even did freak out a little bit because I did see like my sister's, what looked like my sister's car and what looked like my mum's car going past. I was like, oh no, they're going to see me, they're going to ruin the surprise. Managed to get there actually, way before them, which was weird considering they were in the car. Sat there, just casually texting my sister, saw the car pulling up finally. So I was just sat outside the front, and I gave Carrie a wave. The look on her face was actually quite priceless. It was just like literally with pointing at me. It was almost like Invasion of the Body Snatchers or Screamers, where they point and they do that loud screech, and it's really freaky. But yeah, Mum hadn't even stopped the car and she'd opened the door and leapt out, just come sprinting towards me. That was a really good surprise, and I'm just glad it all worked out in the end. I nearly messed it up, actually, by inadvertently inviting myself to a gig on Facebook, and Carrie was like, "How can you be attending this gig if you're not going to be in Norwich?" So all in all, it worked out very well.